Welcome. In this video I'm going to be talking about emerging technologies. And so what are emerging technologies? Well, emerging technologies are technologies that might already exist but are not mass market, or they're on the brink of being created and developed. So what we're going to do is we're going to start talking about emerging technologies in a few different sectors. So we're going to talk about emerging technologies in terms of schools and education. And we're going to talk about emerging technologies in the home. And we're going to talk about emerging technologies in business and commerce. Business and commerce. So we'll make a start by talking about emerging technologies in schools and education. So if we're going to discuss what technological developments have been introduced or will be introduced soon to support education, we could talk about devices, and we could talk about applications. So when I talk about devices, we're talking about hardware. So here we're talking about hardware. And when we're talking about applications, we might be talking about software. So in terms of devices, obviously a very popular device that's used in education nowadays are mobile devices. When we're talking about mobile devices, we might be talking about phones or smartphones. We might be talking about tablets, smartphones. But there are other ones as well that I'm going to touch on in just a moment. If we're talking about mobile devices, we could say that a lot of applications have been developed. So literally apps that have been developed that can be used on these devices, and more specifically educational apps. In case you aren't aware, in Apple's App Store, educational apps are the second most downloaded applications, obviously after games. So in terms of emerging technologies, we already have these mobile devices, we already have tablets, we already have smartphones, but they're getting better. If we focus a little bit more on those mobile devices, and we talk about, well, what's developing, what's happening that's actually aiding and supporting education when using mobile devices. Well, if you think about the multimedia element that we've got and the access that we've got to these mobile devices, if they are in our schools, we can use the multimedia that they provide us with to watch things like animations that might support education. You know, if you want to discuss or explain how an engine works, it's a lot. It could be quite complex for students to actually visualize that. So if they had a mobile device in their hand, they could watch an animation of how an engine works. Students could use these mobile devices to listen to things like podcasts, educational podcasts. They could be using these mobile devices to access MOOCs, massive online open courses, which provide us with expert lecturers presenting their courses that they do at Harvard or MIT or Stanford University. If we were to look at not just mobile devices, but we were to look at other, as we say, emerging technologies, we could look at things like body technology, like smartwatches. And these smartwatches, they can track heart rate, they can track steps that you're taking, they can monitor fitness levels in PE. And this in turn educates students about a healthy diet, about exercise, about being a healthy individual, and the importance of having an active lifestyle and the benefits of that. Body technology might also be referred to as wearable technology. And again, this is something that is certainly an emerging technology. Currently, as we're speaking in March 2015, we're awaiting Apple's wearable technology, the first watch, and a lot of other competitors are actually trying to get on board before Apple launched their iWatch to encourage people to wear technology, whether it's a watch, whether it's the Google Glass, because they feel that this is the emerging technology. Another fantastic emerging technology that is being used more frequently in education at the minute is augmented reality. Augmented reality has this simple concept of, unlike virtual reality, where virtual reality is taking the real world and putting us into the digital world, augmented reality is bringing the digital world and putting it into the real world. And as you'll see in a minute when I play this video, it can really support learners who are struggling to visualize and conceptualize difficult concepts that without visuals would be very difficult for a teacher to explain, and very difficult for learners to understand and learn. So if I just show you this very short little video about how augmented reality could be used in education. Hopefully from that video you can see how useful this emerging technology could be in education. So, on to emerging technology in the home, and one of the first things I'd like to introduce you to is the LED smart bulb. This is something that I've found recently on the Next Web website. If you've never been there before, it's a fantastic website to learn about or find out about latest technologies. So thenextweb.com is a website you can visit to do this. So the LED smart bulb, this is a fantastic piece of technology that is simply a light bulb that's connected to your mobile device. It's a light bulb that says will guarantee to last up to 20 years, so therefore it's saving energy and saving costs. It's 5 times more energy efficient than a regular light bulb, and you can do fantastic and cool things with it, like sync the light bulb to the pulse of the beat of your music that you're playing in your house. You might want to wake up naturally with a scheduled sunrise, so the light gradually gets brighter and brighter like a sunrise. You can create and save and replay your favourite lighting scenes, and loads of cool stuff. So not only is it practical in terms of energy saving, but it's also pretty cool, and it's an emerging technology that's used in the home. Another fantastic emerging technology that I stumbled across whilst viewing the Daily Mail website actually is a piece of technology that you can use in the home to improve the security. So it's a burglar alarm that makes your entire house smart, according to this article. It uses things like humidity, temperature, and motion detection. It connects again to your smartphone or mobile devices. It looks like this. Oop, there we go. It looks like that, and it's got a 180-degree fisheye lens on it, and you can set it to whether you are at home, away, or on vacation. As it says here, once you're connected, users can remotely monitor the inside and outside of their house using the cameras. So again, it's linked to your smartphone, and whatever images are seen on this device can be seen on your smartphone. So again, another emerging technology, again using applications on smartphones and tablet devices to improve the security of your home. Continue with the home security, back to the Next Web website. This is SimplyCam's home monitoring software, so similar to what we've just seen before. So it's a camera that again links to your mobile devices, and it allows you to monitor the security in your home. The reason I bring this one up is because the feature that this one has that's quite nice is it actually has got facial recognition, and you can actually talk to the people that it's detecting. using the camera as a speaker. So again, security in the home, emerging technology, some fantastic devices, and again linking to mobile devices. So onto home safety, and to a website here you can see called Nest.com. Now I heard about Nest on the nextweb.com, and this story was about Google buying out Nest Labs back in, I think it was January 2014, for $3.2 billion. And this was Google's first venture into smart home technology. Nest, in case you're not aware of what they do, basically they built a learning thermostat that, and it also is a smoke detector and carbon monoxide detector, I believe. And like I said, Google bought them out for $3.2 billion. They entered into the agreement, 100% share. They bought out the whole lot of Nest Labs. And the mission is to reinvent devices in the home, such as thermostats and smoke alarms, as I've already mentioned. So, and that's what they do. This technology is a smoke and carbon monoxide alarm, you can see here, look, and a learning thermostat. So this again is emerging technology that you can, I believe, monitor on your mobile devices as well. So onto home interior and the use of emerging technology in that area. This is again another article I stumbled across on thenextweb.com, and it's about a company called, I think it's Curious. And they're using a piece of technology which we touched on earlier in education called Augmented Reality, whereby Curios is a place where you can go to buy digital art, and they print it out and it looks fantastic. But what they allow you to do with this application is they allow you to see what that artwork will look like in your home using Augmented Reality. So a fantastic use of emerging technology. Choose the artwork you want, point your iPad at a space on a wall in your home and see what it would look like. You can see from the visual here on this website. So it's kind of like it's not a security or a safety piece of technology, but it's certainly something that I'm sure many people would be interested in using to better their interiors of their home. On to home maintenance, and I'm sure we'd all like one of these devices in a house. I know it'd save me a lot of time. This is a robotic vacuum cleaner that basically uses sensors to go around your house and clean up, and so it saves you hoovering. Where have I seen one of these before? I've seen one of these on a movie or something like that and thought, oh wow, it's like the hoverboard. Hundreds of years to come, I'm sure these devices will be existing, but actually they exist now. You can buy them now. Sticking with the home maintenance, if you can get a device, a robot to clean your house, why not get one to mow your lawn? The Roomba for mowing. There you go, this is what it looks like. Get that out on your garden and get it to mow your lawn. Again, I'm sure there's some people out there that will want to buy these to help out with big lawns. It might be good for the elderly, the disabled, if they're not actually able to get out there and do this themselves. This will be an ideal device for them. On to emerging technologies in business and commerce, and something I want to talk about is Barcode. Barcode. You've probably not heard of this one before, but it's actually a type of, or not a type of, you might have heard of barcodes before. I'm sure you've all heard of barcodes before. Barcodes look a bit like what you can see here, like that. And a barcode is actually something that looks a little bit like a QR code, which you might have heard before as well. So these are QR codes, yeah, like this. But a barcode will look a little bit like this, but it's only this big, 3 millimeters big. And the way it works is actually quite interesting, because what happens is the reader, which can be anything from an off-the-shelf camera, takes an out-of-focus picture of the barcode, and by taking that out-of-focus picture, it can focus in on the actual data, which can actually store a few thousand times more data than traditional barcodes. A great advantage for these barcodes, which were developed by the MIT Media Lab, is the fact that a normal striped barcode, so one of these ones here, can only normally be read from a distance of, let's say, 1 foot, but a barcode can be read at distance from 12 to 60 feet. They can actually also be read from a greater range of angles as well. If we think about the possible use of barcodes, we could look at things like probably starting for them to be used to track objects in factories. They could be used in supermarkets where the customer could read data about the product on the mobile phones. They could actually even be used in crowd gaming in public areas as well. So another emerging technology to be used in business and commerce. So here's one last emerging technology to present. I'm sure you've all heard about it. I'm sure you all know the company that's starting to develop this technology. Listen carefully to the video. Listen carefully to the people that are telling you how it will benefit their lives if this technology were to come about.
Today, we have something extra special for you guys. You guys will be some of the first people outside of our team and outside of Google to ever drive it.
Steering wheel is
It was a big decision for us to go and start building our purpose-built vehicles. And really, they're prototype vehicles. They were a chance for us to explore what does it really mean to have a self-driving vehicle. But in the small amount of time we've been working on it, we have functional prototypes. It's exciting.
It's really cool. It was like really kind of a space age experience.
You said relax, you do nothing. It knows when to stop, it knows when to go.
It actually rides better than my own car.
Yes.
What she really liked was that it slowed down before it went around a curve, and then accelerated in the curve. She's always trying to get me to do it that way.
That's the way I learned in high school driver's ed.
So if I had a self-driving car, I could spend more time hanging out with my kids or helping them with their homework, even just tending to them, finding out how their day was and not having to wait till you get home and have dinner and all that. So it'd be good.
Human feeling of it is very well engineered and it is very smooth. There's nothing that makes you feel the least bit threatened. It's impressive. I'm totally in love with this whole concept.
Our lives are made up of lots and lots of little things, and a lot of those little things most people have to do with getting from place to place in order to connect and do things, and be with people, go places that they need to go and do things. And so there's a big part of my life that's missing, and there's a big part of my life that a self-driving vehicle would bring back to me.
This is the first step for us, and it's really exciting to see the progress we've made. The opportunity for people to just move around and not worry about it, it's going to be incredibly empowering and incredibly